Hey, it's me, Puppet DM, and I'm here to tell you all about the sponsors we have here at the Wandering Society. We're sponsored here by Mage and Press, makers of a bunch of 5th edition supplements, like the Book of Kobold or their series of new classes. And don't forget, Arcmada, the amazing sci-fi fantasy campaign setting for the world's greatest role-playing game. Be sure to check them out at store.mageandpress.com. Up next, we have Roll20. It's the platform we use here at the Wandering Society to play all of our games. It's easy to use, intuitive, and it now comes with dark mode. Be sure to check them out at roll20.net. We're also sponsored by Art Talsorian Games. Art Talsorian Games make great RPGs, and they've been doing so since the early 90s. Check their books. They've got Cyberpunk Red, which Simon tells me has been played here extensively, Castle Falkenstein, which also has been played here, and The Witcher, which has also been... Okay, we get it! Check them out at your FLGS or online at rtalsoriangames.com. Have you ever wanted to wake up and smell the coffee? Well, now you can with this next sponsor, Found Familiar. Get yourself some damn good coffee at foundfamiliar.com and use the code on the screen to get 15% off. What do you mean I can't drink coffee? What the fuck is felt? And we couldn't end this segment without talking about our good friends at Die Hard Dice. That's right. As a Dice affiliate, we are proud to partner with Die Hard Dice to bring you only the best in shiny click-clacks. Click-clacks? What is... Ow. You can check their ever-growing collection over at dieharddice.com and use the link below to get 15% off. You're putting this all on me? I better get a cut. Hello everyone, I almost forgot to unmute myself. Welcome to episode, what did I say? 3, season 5 of Montreal by Night. It's very cool, Krellin. Welcome. No intros tonight, didn't have time, and just get what it is. We have a lot to do tonight. There's a lot happening underground. So let's move on with introducing our spelunkers before we continue this delve in the secret tunnels under Montreal. I'll begin with the person at the other end of the overlay. Pope, hi, welcome.
Hello. Hi everybody, Pope here. Pope world build all over the internet. Here playing Arthur Porter. Both of us use he, him pronouns, and we have to get an audience with royalty tonight.
Very fancy royalty. Up next, Deirdre. Hi.
Oh, hey. Hey, everybody. I'm Prax, your friendly neighborhood. I get to play Flori, your friendly neighborhood Ravnos, for whom there's absolutely nothing wrong, as in she has done nothing wrong. It's great. I am here for this. And now I just have in the all of Hades Town stuck in my head, which is a fine thing to have stuck in my head. Way down in the underground.
You'll be happy to note that in our absence of the game, I listened to an entire musical by myself. You won't be happy because it's a musical that, of course, I would have listened to anyway, and it's not necessarily a classic, but I rewatched Repo.
That's fine.
But that's one more musical for me.
It's a little glass vial.
It is a little glass vial.
Also.
And last but not least, Trooper, hello.
Hello, everyone. Hi, I am Trooper SJP. I only have one ear's worth of sound, so everything's a little bit odd. That is our current life. But I am playing your not friendly and not neighborhood Osebo Dixon, who is probably going to make poor choices tonight. Because, remember, it's all blame the Bruja. It's all the Bruja's fault.
For once, it's not me making bad choices, so I'm fine with this. But last we left off our group, two members of our coterie went underground through the Brothers of Charity, accompanied by Aaron Conway, who basically guided them through tunnels that unfortunately had changed since the last time she had used them. Something like collapses, perhaps, or sabotage. What happened then was that she led both Flori and Arthur to Luciana and Enzo. Oof. And Enzo. And they had a nice conversation about where to go, what to do, what's the next best thing, especially considering that the group found evidence of a Sabbat pack that had made their lair under the Brothers of Charity, the 2517, that left some very angry and mean messages, coded, of course, about revenge for the death of one of their own, Dark Angel. I think that's where we left you two, knowing that you now wanted to set out, or were about to set out, to go see the King of the Sewers. In exchange for Lucci's help, Arthur promised, I think he swore, to build a haven for her under Little Italy. On the other side of the island, crawling in some very cramped tunnels from an outside theater to a secret location that was Teddy's Sanctum, which is displayed still on our Roll20 for the players to see. And for...
is still her sanctum because she's not dead. Is still her sanctum.
Yes. And as for everyone who would like to see what it is, well, in our Legend Keeper, you can go under the locations in Hochelaga, and you will see the gorgeous painting that, unfortunately, I don't remember the name of the artist who made it. They're credited on chapters anyway, but is the sanctum that was found by Antonio and Dixon. Sanctum that contained a gigantic pool of blood surrounded by these three sort of gargoyle-like dragons, alchemy equipment, books, and a wight who promptly attacked Dixon. Dixon managed to subdue and then stake. For the moment, anyway. And we'll pick back up with our duo. A bit farther north than where Antonio and Dixon is. Was there anything that you wanted from Luciana and Enzo? If so, we'll start the scene there. Otherwise, we'll start the scene en route to your other location.
We can be en route.
All right. She didn't give you a detailed map of the tunnels per se, but from her explanation, you will have to cross a mix of older aqueduct tunnels, service tunnels, at one point even get very, very close to one of the metro, the subway tracks. And of course, wading through sewers. Find this famous sewer king. She did warn you about a couple of other things, though. Aside from the whites that have apparently become a problem underground, there were tales of sightings, I should say, of giant misshapen rats, of a large shadow that apparently hunted Enzo for some times. It could be shadow of one of the other things. She couldn't really get any explanation out of Enzo. And of course, that strange man wearing the coat made out of human faces. And so in the tunnels you are, making your way through muck, mostly. Out of curiosity, how can I put that? How eager are the two of you at the thought of, having to perhaps swim in waste? Like, what's your general emotional, psychological state as we focus in in the tunnels?
Thrilled? No. However, again, from past experiences in having to evade the cops by jumping into the swamp, or off the coast, I'm accustomed to terrible scents, and also, already dead. It's not like I can catch anything.
Yeah, that's not the worst thing I've ever had to swim through if I absolutely have to. And I already planned to get rid of all of these clothes anyways. There's just going to be bad juju attached to entering a Sabbat cathedral in general, and I am not going to be liking keeping any of this. This is all disposable.
As you make your way down, well, through the tunnels, if I recall correctly, you both have a source of light. I believe
Yes.
a mag light and a headlight.
Mm-hmm.
Your flashlights essentially cast long shadows over bits of walls that have crumbled here and there, pipes that are rusted, broken, interspersed with newer infrastructure, as if the city never really took out the bad. They just patched and added and added and added. You did spot some rats on your way here. And in fact, there is one now in front of you, lying on its back in a damp patch of concrete. Not drowned or anything. As a general rule, the area where you are right now is mostly newer tunnels that run parallel to the actual aqueduct. So there's a certain dampness, there's water pooling in certain places, but you're not wading through water like up to your waist or anything. The worst that you could have for now is, little puddles. But there's one. Yep.
And she has had sense beast up the entire time.
Cool. No beast from this one, because it's dead. However, it is a rodent of unusual size.
Yeah.
As in, it is the size of a large cat.
Oh, so a New York City subway rat. All right.
Yep. It's hairless, save for a couple of moles on its skin that have dark bristles, almost like not gonna say pubes, like a boar, or like a bristle brush. It's short, of course. It's almost solid. Poking out of it, it could be mistaken for the quills of a porcupine or something. Its eyes are still open, but the orbs themselves, the eyeballs, are just this like milky white sphere, bulging, threatening almost to break away from the skull. The tail ends in a fork, and each bit of the fork ends with, let's say, a claw-ish, some sort of talon, but it's like a straight needle-like piece of bone. It is bloated, and from a distance, at least from where you are, I'm assuming I'm describing this as you see it in the light, right? So you're quite a few ways away still. But even at that distance, it looks squishy, like bloated with something, but I don't know how to describe it more than it's not
squamous.
Yeah, squamous. Let's go with that. Not making a sound or a movement, but it's just there, almost, lying almost in the middle of the tunnel.
It's a marker.
What do you do?
Well, you see a marker like that, you figure out if it's animal or not animal that is leaving this clear sign, and then, as best you can, identify the subject.
You can use your occult specialty.
Lovely.
Wits and occult, using your specialty. Same thing, Flory, if you want, you can use wits and occult.
Difficulty?
Oh, for these things, leave it at 2, but if you get
Okay.
4, you'll get something like added.
I got 3.
You can leave
Same.
it at 3 or try to get a 4. Up to you.
We have long to go before we sleep. I'm gonna leave it at 3.
Just remember, everyone, you get to clear a superficial willpower damage. So if you've used a point of willpower last time, you get to clear one tonight. So with 3 successes each, well, first of all, this is not natural. This is what we would have called way back when the rat version of a hellhound, an animal ghoul. The easiest answer would have been, well, of course, it's a Nosferatu ghoul, like, you know, curse transmitted through the blood. The ghoul ends up being disfigured like its master. But you both know, looking at it, that that is not the case, either through on-life experience or just a general examination of the beast without getting too close to it. The curse of the Nosferatu will make things ugly. It won't mutate. This rat seems to be a strange missing link between a rat and whatever it is the person kindred that did that wanted. There is, hence your specialty, by the way, Arthur, you can see the sort of after effects of someone using vicissitude.
Now, here's the thing. If they're using vicissitude, I have 2 flesh crafting specialties, one in medicine and one in craft. So I want to know, is
crap.
this...
Can you add those 2 then?
Okay.
Give me 2 more dice, you might get a 4. By the way, I have not forgotten your messy critical from last time. It was the bestial failure. It is still right there.
Got 5.
Well, damn. Okay. Yes, it's been flesh crafted. It's also been trapped, as in booby trap.
Yeah.
Anything touching this rat, anything touching the rat will make the rat explode. And from what you gather, what's inside is probably acidic.
Yeah.
And with your 5 successes, it's not a marker. That thing just died of natural causes.
And it's just a mine. Now.
Well, now it's become a mine, yeah.
Yeah.
But it could have been anywhere. It's not a trophy left by someone. It's not...
Yeah.
You're not entering a territory. It just so happens that... Coincidence, right? Coincidence that it's in the middle of a tunnel alone by itself.
Now, I would like to ask, because this is Arthur, and we know these things. Does this look like it was flesh crafted by a fellow clan member or someone who just picked up the discipline?
Not just a fellow clan member. A Simichi who likes to push the boundaries of vicissitude. Because looking at this, clearly this is some sort of botched attempt. Okay. You would have to be someone who likes to play with it.
All right. Well, we are going to leave you right where you are and avoid you. Good news, Flory. Cousins down here.
Are they cousins you like? Are they cousins you don't like? Are they cousins you owe money to? Are they cousins that owe you money? These are very complicated things.
Don't know. I just know a tinkerer when I see one. And that's a tinkerer's toy.
Usually there's more like little wooden spikes and, little balls with multiple colors that you stick together and come on.
Yeah, but you don't necessarily want to see what you described done by a member of the family.
That is true. Saw it once, never want to see it again. It was very, striking. And it stuck out. Literally.
As you make your way further down the tunnel, you begin to see the further away you are from this corpse, the more regular rats you hear squeaking, you see crawling along the pipes, nesting in some places. Aside from perhaps some of them being absolute units, as the youth would put it, none of them are flesh crafted, bloated like the one you saw. Those
Can I
seem
ask
to
just
all be natural. Yeah.
just a quick question?
Mhm.
Given the fact that it is a mine, but it died of natural causes, can we have a rough guesstimate of how long it's been dead? Because if it's died of natural causes, the rate of decay should have an effect and also possibly already exploded it, given the fact that it's full of acid and, stomach acids and combinations of things like that.
That is true. Can you give me int and medicine?
Oh, this is going to
And
go
I'll give you like a guesstimate.
interestingly. Can I make an argument for animal kin instead of medicine? Because it's technically an animal.
Because it's an animal. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Because you would have known, you would know, like a vet versus a doctor. Yeah.
Yeah. Two successes.
Nice. It probably died about a week ago, maybe more. It's not decomposing, or it's decomposing very, very slowly. Probably due to the amount of blood magic that was infused in this creature. Would make sense if they're used as mines, that they stay there for a while if someone wants to place them in certain places. But according to you, what you can see, yeah, it's been between a week and 10 days, let's say.
Okay.
So, reminder, we are the night of November 12th.
Mm-hmm.
So, anytime after Halloween, sure.
Well, it didn't die peaceably. And would I know? No, there's no way to know we know when it died, but we don't know how long it's been. There would be no way to know how long it's been flesh crafted. Yeah.
Not
Well-
without making this thing open.
I'm
There
good with not
is
doing.
at least one guess. I'll give you that. What's the lifespan of a rat?
Okay. So,
It had to be a living rat at some point before being
So-
turned into this.
So it's possible this was made after the Night of Ashes.
Oh, yeah. Night of Ashes was like, what, 12 years ago?
Not 12. 2.
Yeah, I think it was 12 years ago.
No, we're in 2014.
No, 2 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, too.
So it
2 years ago.
It could have been made before the Night of Ashes.
But it's likely could have been made after as well.
It's more likely after than before.
Okay. That is the most important part of this. Oh, look, they're alive and they're undead and mostly kicking around. And I didn't bring a hostess gift.
No, but as for that, if he's a tinkerer, he's going to have whatever territory he's claiming marked. Like, that's just our way.
Sorry, I had to do a little
Mhm.
apartheid with Crit Witch.
Mm-hmm.
We search like men. Like I said, you circle around, you keep going. Lots of rats, lots of normal rats.
Mhm.
And as you progress further into the tunnel, at one point you get to a junction that Luciana told you about. There's a ladder on one side that, should you take it up, would lead you at some point to the surface. You need to take it down into the older aqueduct and then keep going east for a bit. You see the ladder. You also notice the mound of trash that surrounds it, that is actively being used by a colony of rats. And whereas a lot of animals would flee before one of the undead, they don't seem to want to go. They're curious, all poking their little heads out of rotten food or torn up garbage bags.
I'm just going to assume at this point. Hello there. We would like an audience with the king.
Most of the rats keep a lookout. A couple of them retreat inside the trash mound.
I'll wait. We've done this song and dance already. That's how we got the last one.
Florie's going to wait, but she's keeping an eye. She's got sense beast up and she's paying attention to the animal behaviors in comparison to normal animal behaviors.
Those are trained rats.
Yeah.
But normal rats. Just wow, good rat trainer. And as you're waiting, it's been about a half hour when your sense beast begins to ping. Down the tunnel ahead of you. Down the tunnel in back of you. Faint beasts. Not too hungry. But let me just grab a thing on the PDF. Disciplines. It's animalism, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's a passive. I just know that they're there. If I choose to use it actively, roll against, I know what their stats, I know what their attitudes and hunger and disposition.
It's just my my question is whether they are burst. Okay, so technically, yeah, you ping 4 of them with malicious intent. They aren't moving very quickly.
we have 4 friends coming who aren't very nice. And she's saying this in cant, by the way.
Yeah.
At this point now, anytime she's going to be talking to Artie, it's always in cant, unless she specifically is choosing to speak publicly.
Well, unless you let me know, I'll assume that everything is kept.
So at this point, theoretically, no one understands.
Just nod, and like in that case, like duffel comes off the side of the shoulder, gets put down, just gets low, maybe take a knee, just to be like, either we're going to be polite and talk things out, or if I need to, we can get down and dirty and kill your pets, but I'd rather not.
The moment those 4 shapes come into the light of your flashlights, you see them for what they are: 4 misshapen rats. Loaded with moles with bristle and the mutated tails and the white eyes, and they are not friendly at all. The instant they come into the light, they snarl and charge at you. When they open their mouths, you notice that their regular rat teeth have been replaced by sharp fangs reminiscent of oh my god, Count Ulok from Nosferatu.
On one hand, that is visually very disturbing. On the other hand, because Prax knows a shit ton about random shit, I'm actually less disturbed. I am actually less scared of rats with vampire teeth, because that means their teeth are actually weaker.
Well, yes, because it's made to,
pierce flesh instead of like
yeah.
siding. Flory has a shotgun for a reason, y'all.
You were both aware before they came in, so I'll let you go first, and then it's going to be chaos and everyone goes at the same time. But you get to have kind of the drop that they would have on you. So you get the shotgun out.
Flory has a shotgun, and she doesn't care. But it's going to be really interesting because she's going to pop awe at the same time.
All right.
Because these are technically ghouls.
Which because you want to persuade them?
Oh, well, yeah, I want them to calm the fuck down because you said we're trying to be because Artie said we're trying to be polite. She's going to fire. She's going to pop awe and a warning shot.
Okay, I thought
and shift her like one of those.
Of them.
Yeah. Pop awe, throw off awe, but throw a warning shot like above the ones that are coming behind. Probably, she would have spun, flared, and fired the warning shot just slightly above their head, while at the same time shifting her position to closer to the wall.
The wall with the trash nest, or the opposite wall?
The opposite wall.
I'm just checking.
Yep. And I'll pop awe as well. Just sitting there, taking a knee, and going, okay.
Look, I am.
4 rats do not stop their charge, and
cool.
On their turn, 3 of them will jump on Arthur. 1 of them will veer off. One that wasn't basically in the back tunnel that got sprayed with peppered with shots will veer off and go straight for Flory. What will the 2 of you do?
Oh, I was trying to be nice.
Yeah. Well, the one that's going after Flory,
I have a shotgun, don't worry.
Yeah, but I've got tricks.
Oh yeah, you can play with your
And
tricks. And we also don't want to explode them.
I'm going to use Mesmerize on whichever one's in LOS, but preferably the one going towards Flory.
They can, because they're going like pincer against you.
Yeah.
I'd say you could get 3 of them.
All right.
Your Mesmerize. One of them will for sure, unfortunately, be like on
Yeah.
your other side.
I'm fine with that.
Mesmerize. Can you give
I'll
me
do
that
the
rouse
rouse.
check?
Yep.
And also, Flory, what are you doing?
I'm shifting away and oh, I didn't take that skill yet, so I can't do it. Never mind. I didn't take that discipline yet, so I can't do that. Shifting along the wall away from the target or away from this one that's coming at me, but shifting slightly towards Artie along the wall and going to flip the shotgun around and use the butt of the shotgun as a defensive weapon to kind of like bash its head in. Because I know that these things explode. So I don't want to shoot it in close proximity.
All right. Give me
As
your
much as that
roll.
would be fun.
All right. I guess that would be let's go with dex
Melee?
and weapons. Well, melee, yeah, dex and melee. And Artie, your Mesmerize. What does that do again?
If the mortal victim is unprepared, no roll is required. I can command my victim. As long as I do not issue a command that is against their nature. And it's a full command. Go to sleep.
A single like sentence.
Go to sleep.
Three of them.
So that's no roll for an unprepared mortal.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's a
Contested roll.
They are
contested.
not mortals.
Okay.
They are not immortals. And so 2 of the rats charging at you basically just their legs give out and they just skid on the ground as they try very hard to sleep. The one that jumped on Flory basically fell asleep mid-jump, still got the butt of the shotgun to its face. The last one, though, gets to have a go at you, Arthur.
All right. So, I'd like to defend myself with Dex Athletics.
Yep, I got 5 successes.
Yeah, we'll rouse the blood on this one. So first, let's do that rouse check.
Mhm.
I'm getting hungry. But Dex.
Oh, you're at hunger 4.
Yep. I'll spend a willpower.
No, you got
No,
it.
I got my 5. I got my
Yeah,
5.
you got your 5. You got your 5. Describe to me what happens. How does Arthur narrowly avoids getting his probably entire ankle bitten off?
Oh, it's going for the lead ankle. Just how wide is the section that we're on?
It's a wide enough tunnel. I don't have the. Okay. assuming both you and Flory would extend your hands, side by side, you would barely touch the walls. So we're talking like almost 10 feet, maybe a little more than 10 feet wide.
It'll just be a roll off to the side to get out of this thing's way.
I need to ask the side of the trash or the side with not the trash?
Not the trash.
You roll out. That thing basically just stops, looks at you, and seems deadly intent on getting your sweet blood out of you. Next turn, it will jump at one of you. Since you're both close to each other, I'll roll it random, but it's rearing to jump. The other three are all asleep.
Yeah, no. Going to use Mesmerize again. I'm going to get real hungry. Actually, no, I'm already at Hunger 4. That would be bad.
Yeah, no, Flory is just gonna come up as this kind of movement scene, right? Like, as she's knocked the one back and she started moving towards Artie, those fall asleep. She sees the one go for Artie. Artie rolls away. She's gonna come up on because she's already moving, the backside of it and just go bam across the head with the butt of a shotgun.
Again, Dex, melee, and ask for Arthur. What will Arthur do?
We're going to. She's going for the head of the thing. I'm going for the ass of the thing. Because again, lived in the swamp in the 1800s. I'm just going to use my big meaty hand to try and crush its backside.
Ooh. All right. I would say that would probably go under strength and brawl.
Yeah.
So that's two successes for the butt. I'll just look at. It's not defending because it's jumping. Anyway, it's not really. It's a bit too frenzied.
I will spend a willpower on that.
Okay, sure. Because I know what happens if it remains a bestial failure.
Yeah.
Your thingy?
So it gave me
I'll
one
search
more.
Online
so
later to see.
Depends on the difficulty. So base difficulty is 2. So
it would be base difficulty 2.
Okay, so no more bestial failure. Huzzah!
Except that is not enough to completely knock it out. And
fair enough.
Because Flory is in its face, it's after you that it goes.
I will accept that.
With 7 successes.
Cool.
You want to dodge?
I'm going to get the fuck out of the way. And that's athletics,
Dex
right?
athletics,
yeah. Yep.
Dex athletics. Only 2 successes. I'm going to roll just to see if I can bring it down. No. All right. So 2 successes. I'm going to take the hit, but
you're going to take
better.
5 superficial damage.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, superficial damage.
Cut in half?
Cut in
half.
Yeah.
Cut in half.
So it's actually 2.
2. Yeah. I was like, that's what that is.
Yeah.
All right.
Despite having, let's say, vampire fangs, these are not vampire fangs.
Yeah, it's okay. You grabbed a whole lot of polyester and nylon. It's fine. Because she's being bit, can I grab the back of its head?
Yeah, well, it's your like next
Ne-
turn.
ne-
So
next and the next turn, like
yeah,
because
no, go
she's.
ahead. What do you want to do? Because we
Can
are at
I
the next turn.
break its neck? Because it's actively biting me?
I mean, yeah. Let's go with strength and brawl because it's like a grappling attack, and basically your margin
This
of
is gonna
success is going to be which is a difficulty 0. So however many successes you have.
Yeah. So, okay. This is I'm going to re-roll that because I can. 1 success. That's all it gets. It's fine.
You
Sucks.
manage to get your hands around and you're like trying to jerk the neck, but it's that thing is big. However, y'all had already pummeled it quite a lot.
That's
And
fair.
after a few yanks, you hear the plop of its neck snapping. Because you needed a total of 5 successes, which you got over the course of this fight. It does not explode upon dying.
That's okay. Florie's gonna pick it up and drop it down the hole.
It melts.
Okay, no, she's running the fuck away from that shit. Not on my shoes.
You basically snap the neck, and you know, one blink after, you begin to hear the sizzle.
It's
and
a
you
dissolver.
See... Huh?
It just yells out, "Oh, it's a dissolver."
Yeah, it just like a plastic bag that's full with liquid and basically breaks at the bottom. It sort of spreads out everything. All the juices inside leak out. And that is acidic. It hits the pavement and it eats through, the pavement, the floor, eats through the concrete a bit. Now that you've inspected, you know, the dead one earlier, this one now in combat, and the 3 others that are sleeping, and you know your mesmerize is not going to last very long. That said, it's probably not so much that they explode upon death, but that if you make them bleed, it'll probably spray you with this. So that, of course, if they're dead and you go poking at it, it'll... Mind you, this one dissolved upon dying because it died differently than the other one, maybe? So what do you do with your 3 other sleeping friends?
Can I drop it down the hole?
The hole with the trash?
She's talking to Artie. She's looking like
the you do you. I'm not entirely certain what that welcome was, whether it was these things haven't had a snack in a good long while, or whoever's down here is just impolite.
I feel like it was very rude.
And I can understand not necessarily wanting guests, but there's a way to go about that.
And she will literally like pull one of the she's got gloves on, so she's just gonna pick up one of the sleeping ones and fling it down the hole.
Down the hall or down the hole?
Down the hole.
Okay.
It go down the hole.
So it basically, you know, crashes in that, you know, trash nest, bringing most of it along with it in its fall. Those rats who were able to escape skitter away. you hear a plop and sort of a wet like sound as it lands. But with the sound it made, probably like the equivalent of a story and a half, like 15 feet or so. You do the same with the other two.
Might as well.
Why not? I'll be thorough. She's just gonna do the same thing. Chuck those down the hole. Let's go down the hole.
Plop, plop. No more beast. Your sense the beast is quiet. Except there's now a permanent ping. Arthur is hungry. And it's, you know, without using actively your sense the beast, you can now feel a like permanent degree of hostility coming from Arthur.
You should have a Snickers.
I didn't necessarily think this was a bagged lunch kind of deal.
I mean, that's fair.
Hopefully, our guest will be more polite. And if not, I have an excuse.
And she's gonna walk over to the ladder, knock on the actual ladder, and say, "Yoo-hoo! Avon calling."
The only thing that answers you is the echo of your own voice.
Honestly, I prefer Tupperware too. And she's going to look and then proceed downward.
Oh, there's a puddle of organic soup down there due to you flinging those 3 rats down. It's definitely the older aqueduct, the brick pattern that you saw near where Luciana has her haven. It probably connected at some point in time. You make your way down, skipping over the puddle, and you see these walls have been heavily tagged. Graffiti's everywhere.
Anything that I recognize?
Yeah, actually, something that you both recognize. A warning. Both as a Ravnos who has used, you know, over time, symbols to signify, you know, safe places and such, as one of the Romani. And also the two of you being part of the Sabbat have, you know, picked up things over the years.
Or he wasn't so bad.
Well, yeah, but
No.
like I said, for Flory, it's more the you
Yeah.
know, Romani and all of that Ravnos traveling hobo ancestry. For others of you, you have the dictionary. But the signs, I mean, there are some signs that are almost universal, and this one is a pictograph that says monster below.
Again, and this is the path that we were told to go down.
Yeah, except when it says monster below, the sign is very literal, as in monster below. The tunnel right now goes in 2 directions. It seems to veer off a bit at the edge of your light on one direction.
But
the one that Luciana told you not to take.
Okay.
And the one eastward, it just keeps going in a straight line. But there's around this graffiti, around this pictograph, there's no
Yeah.
like stairs or ladder or trapdoor or what have you to go down any further. Yet the warning is there.
Okay, if I have that specific warning, I am looking for a very specific one of a couple of tags.
Okay.
Like, I am looking for more variations upon the Zamish clan's crests. Like, I want to see, like, if I know the lineage of who may have made the monster down there.
And
Yes.
she's also taking a look and seeing if these are hobo signs, if they're Romani signs, if they're just
You know what? Can both of you give me intelligence politics?
I even have a
Okay.
dot in that. I want you to
What?
know.
The fuck? Yeah.
2 successes.
Of course, again, if I don't say it, difficulty 2.
One. I'll spend the willpower.
You cannot
Thank
reroll
you.
any of those. Wait, that
They're all-
doesn't
No.
work.
Yeah, I should have one.
No, but
No, because they're all hunger die. You have more hunger
yes,
than
all
you have
of your
die.
dice
Yeah,
are,
no,
are
it's
replaced by hunger dice.
there's no way to fix this. It's just go
No.
time.
Yeah. So I'll start with Flory.
Mm-hmm.
You recognize who made the sign,
Mm-hmm.
or at least the ancestry of, probably. This was tagged by a member of Old Clan Giovanni
Oh, fucking assholes.
from, way back when the Italian Sabat and others around there, well, technically independent, but they have a way of tagging. They have a almost, let's call it a calligraphy style, a font.
Mm-hmm.
And this was made by someone who at least knew this cipher.
Mm-hmm.
And you're about to turn around to, tell Arthur what you found. Arthur,
Hmm.
the hunger is too much. You cannot hold it back. And there is only one source of sustenance around. Flory, you turn around and Artie is not himself. And he is lunging for you. We're going to pause
Cool.
here.
Cool.
And we're going to go to the other end. But I'm going to send a message on Zoom. That said, this is still not the bestial failure that I remembered from earlier, Arthur. That is still going to happen at some point. This is just a new one, and of course, that's going to give you a stain because you're at the very least one stain. We'll check the rest later.
Very least.
Hey, what's happening? Speaking of source of blood, there's a giant chalice of blood next to you, Dixon.
Right.
A staked white.
Who I'm holding.
Huh?
Who I'm holding.
Yeah, that you're holding. And just to recap also something that happened last time is on the like scattered papers that were on that table with the alchemy set, some of them had almost like imprinted on the table because they were like old and probably soaked up a substance whatsoever. But one of them, you saw your name.
And
on it.
and there was curtains off on the other side. We don't know what was behind them, and
Yeah.
spiky racks and empty creches. You know,
Well, the empty sort of ossuaries, some of them still had like bodies in it, but the others were kind of, most of them used as like a bookshelf of a kind. Those that are empty just because, you know, she probably didn't have enough books to.
she should work harder, and people should always have enough books. And I
Well,
think
she's been
you know
taking a bath for a long time.
it's true. It's true. I'm going to take her, and I'm going to carry her to one of the ossuaries. I'm going to place her inside the ossuary so that she is in a safe space. And while I'm in this process, I'm going to say, Antonio, I'm concerned that we might have been followed. Did you tell anyone where we were going or what you were doing tonight?
Absolutely not. No one. I met no one save for Alex when I went and got the potion. He doesn't even know what I'm going. Well, he thought that I was going to use it. I didn't tell him that it was you necessarily.
Because
That's it. And I
there's a-
made sure that I wasn't followed.
the tunnel collapsed behind us. How did you lose your arm for Hetty? I'm gonna like take a walk around the space, kind of just checking out the space, like a good 360 around
Can
the
you give
room.
me? Can you give me wits insight?
Yes.
No. Let's see. Wits insight. Yeah, wits insight. Difficulty 4.
Okay. I cannot make this unless I crit. Two.
Um. There is a moment of silence before Antonio answers. As you're, you know, taking in the whole room.
We could do a little walk around the room.
Yeah. You can see in his face that he doesn't really feel like talking about it. Your question, it might be your question in this place. It might be this place. It might be the question alone. But you've just opened an old wound. And he just looks down at his feet.
So he doesn't answer the question.
I mean, within the next 2 minutes, he's not going to answer.
That's fine. As I'm doing my walk around, I do have my passive still open. And when I'm behind him, I come at him and I grapple him.
He is definitely taken aback.
Yeah. This is going to be a grapple. I will roll that.
Yeah. Let me just get his stuff out. Is by default, even though he is well, because you take him by surprise, you can add an extra die to it. For sure. Ooh, actually. Wait. Nope. Okay. Nope. Go ahead.
Okay. So that will be strength and brawl. And I get the bonus of my potence, I believe, for that, which will be 3.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, because we're in that scene still. So, 5.
5 successes.
Yes,
And
please.
he, even though taken aback, will, try to move out of the way minimally. The defense against grappling.
I think it's also strength brawl.
It's also strength brawl. Yeah. Oof.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So, since I succeed, what I would like to do is bite the foe for 2 aggravated damage, and also trigger my brutal feed,
All right.
which is
But that's on your
3.
next. That's on the following
No,
turn.
it's what you do when you. It says when you.
Oh yeah, when
if
you win. Yeah.
Yeah. So I
All
would
right.
like to
What
do
does
that.
brutal feed does?
I can. Uh, um, it allows me to do to basically drink somebody all at once. It's like rather than having to like drink slowly, I can drink quickly. Um,
Also called the Hoover.
yes, it is.
The
Um,
traditional
is.
Sabbat name for it is to what is it? Husk someone.
Um,
However, the
in
brutal feed on a vampire will not
yeah,
drain
it
it
becomes
automatically.
immediately
Yeah.
after a 6 level brawl attack using fangs. Victim first takes bite damage, then damage from this power. Armor does not
Of course.
protect normally. Using brutal feed on vampire does only superficial health damage to their dead and inert organs, but you still
Yeah, you are going to
drain
slake
them.
2 points of hunger right away.
Well, 2 aggravated, and then 3 superficial hunger damage.
Yep.
Because I have 3 hunger. So that's 2 aggravated and 3 superficial.
Yeah. Superficial is divided by
will-
half, so he's still up.
Uh, that's what I do
On your turn.
my turn. I start.
He tenses in
And I'm
panic.
behind him, so he can't look in my eyes. That was very important because I
Mhm.
didn't want to, him to
Um,
try to dominate me again, which was a really rude thing to do.
uh, not what I need. Just 2 seconds. Ah, okay. All right, so I guess that will give him. Yeah, we'll do it that way. He vanishes.
Is he not in my hands?
You feel that you're still holding someone.
Mhm.
But where's my thing? Thank you very much. Do you have Auspex?
Yes, I do, and it's on.
Okay. So can you make wits, awareness, Auspex?
Yes, please.
And he will roll wits and obfuscate.
Awareness.
Yeah, where's my
Wits. Plus obvious aspects. See, if you don't answer the question, then, four.
5.
I can willpower that,
You can?
and I will willpower that. Uh-huh.
Okay. Reroll those 3. Ooh.
Sure. 7.
All right. You are still holding him. He's trying to get free.
Yep.
But with your successes, you kind of know where you could like bite again.
Yeah.
Despite him trying to move. And he will shout out a Dixon, what are you doing? But it's interspersed with cries of pain.
Yeah. I'm going to drink him dry.
Then do your damage for the next one.
Okay. 2. I will re-roll. We'll re-roll. Willpower re-roll.
That's what I meant.
Ooh, 2. That's what I got.
All right. So 2 more superficial.
Hmm.
You bit more bone than flesh this time, probably just a little off the shoulder. And still invisible. He on his turn will try to get out of your grip while telling you to like control yourself. What are you doing? Control yourself.
We're very good friends. It's probably one of the vampires I've known the longest. One of my best vampire friends, actually.
Yeah.
I will oppose his ability, his
yeah.
attempt to get out. 7.
And he doesn't get out. He cries out, what are you doing, Dixon? Control yourself.
I'm going to keep drinking him dry.
Next turn, damage.
And 4.
4 superficial.
Yep.
Right, that's another
Continues
2.
to. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And I do have he's getting the 2 aggravated from the bite as well.
Yeah, each. No, because you bit once. You're just sucking right now.
Okay.
You're not. Because then you would have to re-roll the brawl each time anyway.
Yeah, so that's another 4 superficial as I continue to.
Okay. Sorry, I had to count his
suck
stuff.
him dry.
He's on his turn going to break down and pray while also begging you not to kill him.
I believe I have humanity 3, so I'm going to keep sucking him dry as he cries for mercy from his best friend. Well, I don't know if I don't know if I'm his best friend, but anyway, somebody who he's known for a long time.
2 seconds. He doesn't have true faith. It doesn't matter, but it's prayer. Just so everyone knows. However, can you make composure plus intelligence.
Sure.
Uh, 7.
Composure. Where are you?
I've got
Mhm.
3, 4, 5 successes.
I will rouse the blood to increase my composure here. Because,
Mhm.
one needs it. Composure and intelligence with
Yep.
the +2 bonus. 2. I'm gonna have to willpower it.
You need to get
5?
5. Yeah, because he got 2
Oh,
10s. So
Oh, you're right. Oh, yeah. Ooh, it's possible. I'm gonna do that because um, for a reason in my mind, but
yeah.
yeah. It's gonna be very bad for me later, but it's fine. No, 2.
Okay. Then I need to look at these pages. Why are all my links not working? 2 seconds, everyone. PDF froze. Ads. Oh, I forgot to change the music. Oh. As he starts praying for a release and for you not to kill him, something clicks in your mind. And you throw yourself in the blood pool. Without Antonio. I think you might pick up something. Yeah, okay, that's cool. Okay, it lasts for a scene. So you jump in the pool, and by the time you surface, well, Antonio was already invisible, but he is nowhere to be seen. I think we have a tiny camera issue. Boop. Boop. Nope. Yes. You surface bed. Get a stain.
How many stains is this? Like 4?
Well, I was wondering in my mind as this was happening. It's not really like it's not a stain per attack because that would be very strange. Because the longer a fight would go, the more humanity you would
No,
lose.
but it's 2 stains for a major breach for respecting the community that's been here before.
Yeah. You definitely hurt the community that was there. That's
yeah, and I think it's definitely 2 stains. I don't have any convictions, so that's not gonna matter. But it's certainly 2 for the collateral damage. So for the community, it might be more stains for collateral damage if you think that's a breach of that tenant. And attacking a vampire might also count for stains as well. So anywhere between
attacking the vampire with your kiss, your brutal kiss, that's 1 stain automatically. So you would be at 3 stains. But there is something else that I need to check. You drank a lot of vampire blood tonight.
Well, I did.
But
I couldn't kill him.
Very close.
And now we're in trouble. Because now I have to actually find him and kill him, or else we'll not have to go to ground, and it's, because now we're in trouble.
Also frozen.
Because he's a Camarilla boy. And if you didn't get him, they will come and get you.
Sorry, but everything froze. I'm not.
Oh,
We're back on my end.
Yeah, my Adobe completely decided to
Oh,
die on me. So
I have
you know.
had that problem with the Vampire the Masquerade core book. It
Yep.
kills Adobe.
Yeah, it's only the core book that does it. It requires way too much memory for no reason. Yep. Okay, we're back. We're back. I believe. Yeah, that's okay. How many times have you fed from him tonight? Twice? Three
just
times?
this once. Just this once.
Yeah, because
This,
it's the. All right. You can write on your sheet that you have a blood bond with Antonio at level 1.
mhm.
And this goes away in a month, by the way, unless you feed some more. And that's different. And if you want to mark it somewhere, it's on page 234 for the check. But basically, if you want to act against him, you have to roll resolve plus intelligence.
Yeah.
Difficulty 1 because your bond is at 1.
Okay. He's
The-
escaped, which means we're in danger. So I am going to need to pack up everything and get out.
Well, first of all, are you wounded?
Yes.
You are no longer wounded.
Superficial and or aggravated.
All of it. When you come out of the pool, you are good as new. The blood from the pool congeals in any wound that you might have. And basically turns to flesh.
Don't have time to think about that because at any moment the Camarilla could be coming to get us. So I have to get Hetty whatever items and things, like just basically like the curtains, rip them down. I need to wrap everything up and I need to put everything in the curtain, including Hetty. I need to get out because at any moment all those Archons could be coming down here since he escaped. And he's probably going to go to the Camarilla and then tell them where I am, and then she'll be in danger.
You're
And who
witty
knows how
enough.
much time we have.
Well, remember the tunnel collapsed. There's no escape
Yeah.
that way.
It's the other way. There's that other route.
There's an other route. You don't know how
Yeah.
long it takes, though.
I know, but you can't. You don't want to be like caught here, especially since there's only one route, which means the longer we take, the more likely it is we'll be caught and trapped,
Yeah.
like a rat.
It's just you have more than seconds, is what I mean.
I don't think he feels that way, right? Because
Okay.
I think it's like you don't want to be in that tunnel, right? Like he got away, which means it's bad. So he's got to basically, as quickly as possible, get Hetty and everything he can sort of like throw into the curtains and get out.
So you're basically using like the curtains as some sort of like makeshift bag.
Yeah.
Okay. You grab Hetty, that's fine.
Well, curtains first. Curtains first,
Yeah.
rip it down. I'll see what's on the other side
behind-
of the curtains in the process, but
There's also, there's her bed. Seems to be like some sort of quote unquote living quarters. Chalk writing on all of the walls. Some sort of very long and convoluted formula, quote unquote. It's not mathematics,
Chemical, probably.
but it seems like a chemical process of sorts. It's just it takes up. It's like the mad ravings of someone who was given
Yeah.
shock and could like whatever.
This place is no longer safe because Antonio has escaped. Gonna have to try to transcribe that in one of the books as quickly as possible. And once it's transcribed, I'll check it and then get rid of it, destroy it so that no one can see it. I need to destroy this place after I get everything out of it.
Make a just to see how fast and how well you can transcribe it. Go with Dex and Academics.
Okay. Five
successes. You can transcribe everything in maybe like 10 minutes. You'll just go and as quickly as you can. While this is happening, you do not hear any footsteps. You do not hear any sound.
Yeah, that's Flory doesn't make sound either. Just because there's no sound doesn't mean they're not coming.
I'm just that's where I was maybe hinting at.
Yeah.
It's eerily silent in that haven.
Yeah. And using the curtains as like a hobo bag, try to get any personal effects of hers, anything that can be gotten, and then also her
strangely enough,
wipe off anything.
There are no personal items. Someone came and ransacked this place already. Of Eddie's personal stuff, like clothes, like what if she had any like jewelry that you're used to see her wear before. That's all gone. There's no real like she didn't have a computer down here. She didn't have much, but the dresser that she has, the large travel trunk that is there, it's all been emptied. But the stuff that seems to be worth anything would have been like the books, the chemistry set. Definitely, if you want to resell it, like you could get something for it.
Currently covered in blood, it'd be awkward.
Well, yeah, but I'm, if you're one of the kindred, and you're looting the place after the Night of Ashes, perhaps. And I'm just checking my notes. Okay. So you get, we'll call them Hetty's library. That's, the entire stack of books that you have. Oh, that's good. And yeah, maybe, I'd say about a half hour. You can clean the place out.
And then it cleaned out. Well, do not have time to read anything, but everything cleaned out. I've got to go. There's probably only one way out, and Antonio knows it, which means if we get caught in the tunnel, we're dead. So we have to go.
You dash away. You're still on passive celerity, I guess. So you're running faster than anybody could. When you exit the sanctum, because you are running at breakneck speed and not necessarily paying attention, you hear a click.
The traps. Keep going.
It gets hot in here. like you're running away. You can still feel
Yeah.
the heat. If you
Yeah.
look over your shoulder, you would see that it's strange. Montreal isn't built on top of a volcano, but out of every crack in the ground, magma is starting to rise.
This is good actually because this place is no longer safe, and I don't want anyone else to have it. So
This place is no longer accessible.
yeah. Yeah.
Still no trace of Andrade.
He'll be coming with the Camarilla. So we're gonna just have to sort of go back to where that break was, and then head the other way and be prepared for.
Oh, you never went. The path that you're taking now is the path that you haven't. Are you going back through that tunnel that you crawled from?
I thought that there was the collapse was earlier back. There was like a break. We went
Yeah,
one
there
way
was a
to
break.
get this
But-
way.
Okay, so you're going that way. So forget about the wall of magma. That was the other exit.
Ah.
I was thinking you went through that other exit, not knowing.
I thought there was only one exit in the room.
No, when you came in, remember you dropped out of this like secret wall
Yeah.
that was there that you needed to like
Yeah.
activate, but there was a normal exit. That was the exit that people would normally take when, or Hetty would take coming in and out of her haven. There's a public
Oh.
tunnel out, and then there's the secret one that Antonio told you only him remembered.
Right. Right. Oh, where was the public entrance? On
Oh,
our.
it's let's take the Roll20 image.
Yeah.
It's the same door right here.
Yeah.
Except when you get out of it, let's say you go left, that's the regular exit, because to your right, it's just a wall.
Yeah.
You know it to be the secret wall. But for most people, they would just come out and then just walk those tunnels, which probably connect to the greater network of tunnels that were underground
Yeah.
under Montreal. So you wanted to go back the secret way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there was like a.
Let's just forget the. You pull Hetty along in the bag as you crawl in that tunnel, eventually getting to the
That
fork.
intersection. Yeah, the fork.
With your heightened senses, you can feel the vibration of the cars way above you. You can hear the echo of the Montreal nightlife, and you can see further down, not too far out, where that collapse was triggered. You did do those checks last time, if I remember correctly. The carpenter, the support system, right?
Yeah.
That was in an area in between. They were flimsy enough anyway to begin with, but that was in between supports.
Yeah.
You take the other side of the fork. Yeah. Keep crawling. Eventually, the tunnel begins to tighten and tighten to the point where you almost have to, snake your way around or through. After about maybe 10-ish minutes, it seems like an eternity. It's a challenge to bring the hobo bag with you.
Yeah.
You happen upon the end of that tunnel. You see it before you fall into it. It is a pit laden with stakes.
Go right across.
A dead end. Anyone who would not see in the dark would eventually pop out of the tight way and sort of slide down into the spikes. Stakes. They're wood, mostly rotten by now. And they're all placed like at an angle so that, if you were to fall, chances are that you would impale yourself, hopefully in the heart, and fall into torpor. Or if you're a human, oops.
Bleed out.
Yeah.
And this stake room, this pit, has no other way out.
None. Not in the sense that something collapsed or anything. It was made that way, made for someone to, you take the wrong turning at the fork, you die.
Yeah.
And so you're witty enough. You can probably imagine that Hedy would, if under duress, would give the wrong path to someone.
Yeah. We're gonna have to make our way back out. It'll be awkward. There's a little bit of panic about this because this is a wasting time, which is just gonna bring the Archons closer. Just gonna have to get back out and try the other exit, but this is bad.
You've got supernatural strength pushing the bag out without breaking Hedy's form or jamming her somewhere. You make your way back out, and then blah blah blah, wall of magma, right?
Yeah.
Keep
And then
running.
Good, destroys the evidence. Go ahead.
Yeah. Now that you are in a tunnel that where you can stand and run.
Can I take one? Can I take one of those stakes? Because my one stake that I had was lost. I'd like to have one on me because they're.
Oh yeah, but like I said, they're a bit rotten though, so call it a flimsy stake. It might break upon use, it might not. Who knows? But yeah, definitely. You run through that tunnel. Eventually, you see something shimmer on the ground.
Stop. It's probably a trap.
A tiny crucifix on a broken thing. You know that crucifix. You know who it belongs to.
I'm gonna not take it. People might be able to do magic on it, but I'm gonna keep moving forward, stepping around it. Being vigilant, moving a little bit slower just in case he's lurking.
Remind me, Auspex, Celerity, Potence, any other passives that you have up?
Celerity, Potence, and Auspex are my three passives up. Yep. By the way, how many stains?
Right, 3 for now. Kind of like with Pope, we'll do it at the end. But it's 3 for sure because it's 1 for the kiss, 2 for the These worked tunnels eventually end into an opening in one of the older, kind of like the aqueduct tunnel that you met Luciana in, connecting to greater part of Montreal. On the ledge, so imagine you have your tunnel and the other one sort of makes like a semicircle, right? Because it's a circular tunnel. So on the ledge there, where you would just hop down, Antonio's coat was caught by one of the bricks and ripped.
I'm gonna try to. I'd like to use survival wits to try to track him.
Go ahead. The difficulty will be 4 because of his, obfuscate power that he used. We'll just use the.
Do I get my Auspex bonus?
Yes.
5.
We're gonna go on break right after the sentence.
Yep.
He's crossed away from you. On the other side of that tunnel. Still invisible. But he's there. From what you can see, a la Aragorn, he fell, stumbled. Probably took a hit to the head. Took a few more steps. Fell into torpor. We'll be right back, everyone. Hello, we are back. But before we discover the fate of Antonio Andrade and Lucky Dixon, let's go to another tunnel. Lori, your sense the beast power twinkles, your vampire sense tingles as you see Arthur lunging at you. Teeth bared, hunger in his eyes. It's not the Artie you know.
I told him he needed a Snickers.
What happens? I'll let the two of you narrate it. By the way, chat, in case you didn't know, this was all... We've all talked about it out of... off camera. But yeah, please go ahead.
So she's got this like half-second warning before he flips his shit. And there's two things that kind of occur simultaneously. She kind of steps further into the shadows she goes to step further into the shadows, but first she pushes out awe as far as she can to distract the beast that is not Artie with a big shiny. And then while distracted, going to step into the flick off the headlamp, step into the shadows, and turn herself in such a way that she's almost halfway up the wall and behind. So out of his line of sight, and very much of the, if he could, he is so far gone that it is now just what is shiny and edible in front of him. And as long as it's not me or someone I actively care about, none of whom are down here at the moment, then I don't care.
Arthur. Oof. Just so you know, you are very much in a hunger frenzy at the moment.
Oh yeah.
And because your prey disappeared, the beast just keeps charging because you smell vampire blood.
Mm-hmm.
Now, everyone, remember, I kept saying bestial failure, but it was a messy critical from last episode. I kept saying I have it in the back of my mind, and Lori and Arthur just gave me the opportunity to do it. Following instinct alone, you zigzag through a labyrinth of tunnels, some smaller, some larger, some old, some new. And you come face to face, actually face to back, I should say, with the Dark Angel himself. Unaware of your presence, you bite down and drink and drink and drink and drink some more. By the time you are satiated, you will have regained. I need to check something. I forgot. Oh, your hunger is at 0. We're gonna have to add a couple of stains to that. Here's why. We'll backtrack a bit through the tunnels. From Florie's perspective, there's the of frenzying Arthur running after some prey of some kind or following his nose. And then you hear a voice like that of an older man that goes, "Who dare disturb the king?" Arthur, once you're satiated and your senses come back to you, you hold in your hands, in your arms, the remains of the once king of the sewers, a kind of vagrant, not the Dark Angel, not Ezekiel. And I'm not going to tell you how to think or what to think, but I do believe that this is not the first time that you mistake someone for a member of the Sabbat.
No, this isn't new. This is probably after the second time she tried to kill me. But just the second.
At least now you're not hungry anymore. But here you stand in the quote-unquote throne room of the King of the Sewers. It's... Whereas Luciana's Haven tried to maintain an air of normalcy amidst the trash and the secondhand stuff that she could steal, this one just built everything out of whatever was on hand. It stinks the high heaven. And even though you do not need to smell as a vampire, it just permeates everything. It just goes through your spores. And you actually, at the tip of your tongue, have like an aftertaste of ammonia. There were rats. Well, Flory, who's been following silently from a safe distance, a carpet of rat, a wave, a tsunami of rats just ran past your ankles, squeaking away in fear. You notice something on your way there, Flory, that in his anger, Arthur didn't notice, but there are still markings on the walls. This time not graffitis. Scratched into the brick with probably nails over time. Sort of a diary entries. As you approach, let's say, the throne room, the lair of this, they make less and less sense. There's one that just says, "I will die down here. There is no way back to the surface. Tell Maxine I love her." Another one says, I have found a furry friend. And then, "I have found a colony. They call me master." Later on, one that says, "I fed from my people." And the last 4 entries are all the same. Shadow. The shadow. The shadow. The shadow. I said it 4 times because in the gamers they say it 3 times, and I didn't want it to turn into a gamer's reference, even though, haha. And they have been carved, etched deeper. The grooves are deeper in the stone. There's even dried, caked blood a bit, flecks of it. And standing there upon a mound of trash, holding a dead man. The guy's probably in his, maybe in his like 70s, late 70s, but still of a certain corpulence. There was muscle on that person. He's dressed in a rundown military jacket. Three pairs of pants sort of stitched together, barely held with a belt. His, well, fallen from his head, a crown, a crude crown made out of duct tape. Similarly, in the throne room, Arthur, you would, now that you've regained your senses and utterly wrecked your chances of finding your way into the temple, now that you've killed the one person who could help you. The laws of the king. He wrote his laws on the walls, etched into it. He was apparently waging a war against an actual rat king. And so there is a law that tails, you may not touch the tail of more than 2 other rats. And others some such. Gathering of more than 5 rats at a time will be met with punishment. There's plenty enough rat carcasses on here that punishment was probably his way of also eating, having some sort of protein.
Flordy is going to walk in, still unseen, still silent, pick up the duct tape crown, and put it on Artie's head and said, "The king is dead. Long live the king. Do you feel better now that you've eaten something?"
And I think as one of the things, like, there is a moment where the beast is quiet, but Artie has Methuselah's thirst.
Mm-hmm.
And so that low-level growl just comes back in that second.
Methuselah's thirst is that you can
I
feed
can
on vampires, or you have to
No.
feed on vampires.
The only way I get to zero hunger is if I drain a vampire.
So even killing him then brought you to 1. My bad.
Yeah. But I like the idea of it was quiet for a second, and then the crown is on his head, and now that little bit of hunger is back. I didn't see what I got.
Well, you didn't get me, and that's all, honestly, at this moment, I care about.
Flory,
You're still hungry, and I should go?
no. Not that bad right now.
Yep.
By the way, there are no other exits to this place, save from the...
Yeah.
Just wanted to mention it.
So let's see if I can improvise an answer to our puzzle now. So, Simon,
Yes.
I recently drank of a very specific vampire. Not too long ago. I within 24 hours, because it was when I last spoke with Valois.
Yes, right, because he had you. Yep. I remember that. Why?
So just recently
Mhm.
had the ability to purchase something.
Okay, so you
And
got. Yeah. Okay.
and I just ate someone completely. I would
I'm.
like to see if I can't dig into the memories.
Yeah, I just saw the discipline you added on your sheet. That is very clutch of you. Let me grab the
I mean,
page.
yeah, because you have to have both you have to have both human blood of the right resonance and then also the vampire blood.
No, to learn the discipline.
Yeah, I think you have to have both, right?
Um, you have to have.
Because that's always been like because it's the two-step factor that makes it tricky.
You have to have the no. You have to have. They got rid of the resonance. I thought.
No.
No,
You
because there
have to
was no
have the
resonance in the
resonance,
previous
but
editions.
if I remember correctly, with what we have,
Yeah, I think you have
god
to
damn
have
it, it's gonna take a second.
both the blood of a vampire that could cast that and also the matching resonance blood of a mortal.
Yeah, but
Just noting for future
blood
reference.
sorcery. Um, is the sanguine. There you go. Which is found often in cult leaders, in kings and such.
Narratively, it makes
So
sense.
it
Perfect.
works. It does work. So we're fine with all of it. But I wanted to check the difficulty. Okay, so it's difficulty 3 all the time, and you roll resolve plus blood
Plus blood
sorcery.
sorcery. Yeah.
Um. Uh huh. Uh huh. Uh huh. Okay. Give me that roll. We have. Okay, no, the king didn't have any disgracious. Um. Oof.
I'll spend a willpower.
Do you wanna spend a willpower for that? Yeah.
Yeah.
That is 2 successes.
I'll spend one more willpower.
That on that reroll anyway, that hunger die is actually just a regular die, just
Okay.
because rerolling with willpower is only black dice all the time.
Yeah. So we roll 2 more. There. So through them all, I get 3 successes.
1, 2, 3. Yeah. You taste his blood. Resonance, sanguine. Intensity, very intense for a mortal. Less so for a ghoul. But I'll note, was ghoul. That person had been weaned off. You don't know when exactly, but there was no supernatural powers left in that person. But looking at the body, that 75-year-old person probably did not look like 75 years old when they still had vampire blood in them. Anything else you would like to know?
Yeah. If there's, any leftover knowledge in that noggin that I might, hold on to for a second, like where I want to go.
Hmm.
I got all of him, not just some of him.
Yeah. I'm just trying to come up with something cryptic enough. The shadow. The shadow has the key.
Okay, great.
But you also know, because, it comes from him, it comes from his memories. There's a certain anger at the shadow having the key, like jealousy maybe, and a profound primal fear. We're talking prehistorical survival instinct of a human kind of fear of this shadow.
Great. Whatever's even deeper is the thing that has our way in.
Well,
I have a feeling it knew he was here.
probably, because he's talking about fighting with a bunch of Rat King.
No,
And-
that wasn't the he I was referring to.
Oh, you mean the dude with the face wearing?
No. The other me is what knew he was here.
Where are there two
And
yous?
my beast didn't want to talk to anybody. I was hungry.
Oh, I get it now. Sorry. My bad. Sometimes it's this language barrier thing. What is it? French is my fourth language?
Also, I'm remembering things.
That's good, I guess.
No, it's not. It really isn't. It's going to make a lot of things more difficult.
Okay. So,
The entire thing of I got tired of being fucking evil?
yes. Yes, I remember that distinctly. I remember that.
Well, a lot of getting better was a lot of forgetting.
Well,
A lot of forgetting. And now I'm remembering.
so now you're actually processing.
I don't like processing.
Look, all of the therapists I've ever talked to or watched on TV, we've all agreed that at a certain point you actually have to process the emotions and not just feel them. Your feelings are valid. but not all of your responses. And like that's the part that people forget. You have to remember that your responses to your feelings aren't always valid.
Yeah, I definitely see that.
It could be worse.
Yeah, but really, no, this is, of all the bad signs to get right now, this one's pretty high up there.
I mean, you could be falling madly back in love with Val.
You're not entirely wrong.
Like I
As
said,
you-
it could always be worse.
As you say the name, you hear the squeaking of the rats. In the distance. Whatever spooked, well, we know Arthur spooked the rats the first time. They're not coming back. They're fleeing somewhere else.
When in doubt, follow the rats off the sinking ship.
And we'll use the rats. Follow the swarm as they escape whatever is threatening them. And they eventually, through nooks and crannies, through holes in walls and pipes and such, happen upon a different scene. Dixon. Hi. By the time you've identified Antonio's tracks, the whatever blood powered is obfuscate sort of wanes as he is in torpor, and you can see a very very pale and beaten up Kindred, who is kind of in a pose of trying to maybe like climb up and hold themselves upright. What do you do?
I think I need to make a roll. Is that correct?
For what?
You said it was resolve intelligence to do anything negative towards this person because of the
Yes.
first level blood
even
bond?
though they are, yeah. And because you're
Alright.
in their presence, it's going to be per turn. So we'll have to.
Okay. Resolve
Difficulty 1,
intelligence.
because your bond is just 1.
2.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
I'm going to dabblerize them.
Grab onto him, bite down, and drain
It's the only way to keep Hetty safe.
the last little bit of blood. First of all, you lose a point of humanity. We'll start with that.
That takes me to 2.
Then you must roll your own humanity plus your own blood potency. Versus their resolve plus blood.
So now, for audience, hey, audience, just so you know, you are more likely to get away with dabblerizing someone if you have very, very high humanity. If you have very high humanity, then you dabblerize someone, you will survive and get a whole bunch of experience points. Everything will be great. Although I think if you have really high humanity, you probably wouldn't want to dabblerize people. If you have very low humanity, you would probably be okay with dabblerize people, but it's not great. It's actually very, very bad. I know this as a player, but the character does not know the mechanics of this game. So I'm going to roll my 4 dice.
Mhm.
It's, I think I just have to roll humanity plus, cancel.
Plus
I'm
blood.
going to do this personal.
Plus blood potency.
Submit. 4.
All right. I
I
just
roll
sent
1
you
success.
a message just in case. 4 successes.
No, just 1.
Oh, you rolled 4 dice and you had 1 successes. Okay. The
Yeah.
difficulty was.
I have one last willpower, and I'm
Yeah,
going
go
to
ahead.
use it.
That's what I wanted to know.
Because this is the moment where we find out whether or not Dixon continues to exist or not. One more, so a total of 2 successes.
Okay. And you needed to beat his resolve plus his blood potency.
Yeah, with that roll. He rolls, I believe.
Cool.
And it's success versus success.
I would like to type. Thank you.
And so, audience, if I beat him, I get 5 experience points for every success I have over what he has. If he beats me, I lose humanity for every success he beats me by. And if I hit 0 humanity, please note I only have 2. Then
it's.
I lose my character.
So what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna roll secretly.
And I know this is a player that having 3 humanity going into this means that it's not good, but Dixon doesn't know that. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. So he's going to just chomp down on Andrade.
And drain. I had to.
Oh yeah,
back,
I'm just talking while you're doing secret rolls to vamp for you.
Please,
I'm vamping for you.
Vamping
Look,
for me. Keep vamping for me.
And for those who don't know, we always appreciate and we talk all the time about what would happen. And we as players are fully aware that our characters could get overtaken by the bestial urge at any time, and we are consenting to it.
And
okay,
so we have, so now let's say that he were still at 7 humanity. He could dabblerize this fellow. He could get like 30 XP, become super powerful. But because he does not have humanity 7, that is, how do you bring your humanity up again? Oh, it's almost impossible to do so. In order to bring your humanity up, you have to basically quit playing the game for about a year in real time. In game time. So you have to basically turn away from vampire society, do only selfless acts for humans for about a year, and then spend a huge amount of XP. So we get maybe one or 2 XP per session, and it's 10 times your humanity to the next level. So if I wanted to get to humanity 4 from humanity 3, I need to spend 40 XP, which by the way, we do not have that much, and spend 1 year not interacting with vampires and like helping orphans.
Per point of view. Well, the 1 year is if you want to go from 7 to 8 XP wise, less than that. But even going from 2 to 3 doesn't make a whole lot of difference. You're still out for like a few months.
Yeah.
And if you're at like humanity 2, do you really desire to spend all of that goodness and heart and warming and?
I mean, probably less so.
No. Number of dice. Okay, so I'm rolling it secretly. I did not have physical dice next to me because all my stuff is packed. You rolled 1 success.
2
success. You chop down on Antonio's neck, drain what little bit of blood is left, and then just feel this surge of air fill your lungs. It's cold, but it's familiar. It feels like fear. It tastes like what an immortal being would feel like the instant they realize that they are no longer immortal. As you suck the soul out of Antonio Andrade, you get flashes, powerful moments of his life, sort of burnt into your mind. For
Like what kind of
one,
flashes?
yeah,
Like
I
what
had to get
exciting,
my
lovely things.
yes. It's 1943. You are a private investigator investigating collusion between the church and the Duplessis government.
Hmm.
Your informant betrayed you, and a shadowy form came down on you as you slept, drank from you, and then, like a bird, regurgitated blood into your mouth and forced you to swallow it. You didn't want to, but you had to. It traumatized you for life. 1944. You do the same thing to your priest informant.
Hmm.
It doesn't feel good. You destroy the monster you created. (1950). Your mind shatters permanently as you learn that that informant that sold you out never did so. That was all in your head. You're not even sure what's true, what's not. You know you are no longer human. You know you're dead. Not quite. But you have no idea which moments of your life were actually real and which ones weren't. You get another flash of you talking with Hedy. You're in that haven, that sanctum. But it's not quite how it was tonight. It was missing a lot of things, like a giant blood chalice. You remember asking if she could mend you. She could take the shattered pieces of the window that is your mind and glue them back together. And she promises to help. For a while, you do her bidding. She's nothing like the monster that embraced you, or like most of the other Cainites that you try to avoid as best as possible. You don't feel safe. Eventually, you get caught. A man with a dragon brand on his face, with what appears to be next to him a giant snake, and others robed individuals. They want to know where Hedy is. And you refuse. They try to get the information out of you, but your shattered brain makes it impossible for them to distinguish what's true or what's not. There was this black guy who came to Montreal who might be linked to all of this, but then you staked him in Halifax. There was a church there, a Down, frustrated, the man with the dragon brand takes a sword, cuts your arm off. You think you have the upper hand. You know that you can be mended. Mentally, probably by Hetty. Physically, you know it's going to take a while, but it's going to come back. You had a misfortunate accident with a rat trap at some point and lost a finger. It grew back after like 3 days. 6 months later, your arm still hasn't grown back. Eddie's not alone in her sanctum. There's other people with her. A woman wreathed in flames. And an angel with 3 eyes. They're supposed to help you. They can't. The angel weeps. Flaming lady destroys part of the sanctum. Burns it. Lava pours out of the floor. And Hetty in all of this is just an island of calm. And you figure it's more important to you to get your mind back than to get your arm back. If an angel can't help you, maybe God can. And ever since you turned to the worship of the Abrahamic God, strangely enough, you've been left alone. You will never, ever know that it's because nobody cared. You had this one friend at some point. I guess he didn't care enough. And we're gonna end on that tonight, friends. How's everyone?
Oof. Big oof.
Yep. Antonio's life was sad.
Yeah.
It might be getting better. We don't know. We'll find out.
So many feelings and emotions.
Yep.
Look, if Antonio takes over Dixon's body, at least he's got 2 arms again.
Yeah. He'll probably he might be in a better space, you know? He'll have 2 arms again. He's kind of wanted, but still, I think he'll be fine. It'll be good for him. He'll get like a new body, you know.
I don't recall the rules in 5e, but as I recall in earlier editions, if you are overtaken by when you diablerize somebody and you are overtaken, the person you diablerize actually overtakes you. It would have you kind of like shift facial features enough that it becomes obvious who you were.
It doesn't mention that.
I don't know if it
No,
happens
but
in
the
5e.
older ones, what happened is you slowly shifted into the person that took over you. However, gaining the memories of the person you diablerized happened no matter what.
Yep.
Well, in 5e, not necessarily, but I like the flavor. And I'm fucking running this game. I'm not allowed to say I fucking wrote this game, but I fucking wrote for this game.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the choices I made have become canon. All that to say, that was heavy. And not going in the direction that I thought this game would go.
Yeah.
All right, let's do outros, friend. I need to do a quick getaway. So if you can vamp for me, go ahead. We'll do the same order as we did the intros. We'll start with Arthur, but I should be
Okay.
back in like 30 seconds. I'm sorry.
No problem. Hey everybody, Pope here. Pope World Build on the internet's first business, then pleasure. If you want to see more of this silly face again, there are opportunities throughout the week. Not this Saturday, but week from Saturday, we will be back over on Valdrian's channel for more. This is my favorite game on the Citadel, our Mass Effect series, where we're on Noveria, and we're about to do a robbery. So,
What kind of robbery?
Robbery of people's lives, and the corporation's data. And this is the first time I've ever been playing the getaway driver. So we'll see how this all goes. And then Sunday, and I mean, this Sunday, we should be back for more Mass Effect goodness over on Praxis channel, as they're also on Noveria, different time, entirely different time. And they're investigating a robbery. So it's interesting bookends.
And you left off the most important part.
There are so many.
The very complex and intricate negotiations involved in Solarian reproduction.
Again, tune in. There's a lot going on. And then be back here on Mondays for more of this amazing story, as yeah, things are getting super tense. I'm in awe of like how the dice and how everyone has been like going about with this story, just from sitting from the seat, just from having the good time playing as Artie, like coming back and realizing nearly every single time there has been a messy crit or bestial failure, it's been in the presence of some form of kindred magic, disciplines, blood magics, the works, and it just triggers something in him, and he gets violent quick. But this is going to have huge ramifications, because he doesn't like killing mortals. So that we're going to see if how much this bothers him, or maybe more troublingly, how much this doesn't bother him.
Does that mean we get to have our humanity roll? I just want to know.
Yeah, I figured we would do that off camera, unless you want to do them on camera after the outros. But thank you
I
for being here.
I kind of like the idea of doing that like afterward.
Cool. Flurry, hi. Did you do your?
So
Okay.
yeah, no, I haven't gone yet.
I wasn't listening when I was upstairs.
You frequently don't. Hi, everybody. I am your friendly neighborhood Prax, at Deirdre on Twitter, or Praxagorthesmiaphores. See me around here on Twitch, Prax the Bard over on Instagram, Hive, and Blue Sky. Ha, I remember these things. But this was a lot of fun. This is very tense and very heavy, and lots of things are happening, and lots of things are going to happen, and so you need to be back. But if you want to find out more about me, you can find me on my own channel, Parksquare over on Saturdays as we do book club, book chats about what I've been reading this week and what fun times I've been having and all of those things. But you also, it's lots of fun. We read along, we chat, we talk, we bond. It's all good. You can also then find me on Sunday nights in the player seat finally, because Pope is being the storyteller as I get to play the Drell doctor of the ship. Things are interesting. Solarian mating habits are complicated and interesting. Also, we have the best ship pet in a Varen. I'm just saying Buttercup is legitimately the best. But also, if you want to support this shenaniganry on my merch store, because I put it up there, I'm going to put the link in chat right now. You can find this wonderful shirt. Fucking tired of being evil. Tired of being fucking evil. Excuse me, I even wrote it myself. But it is up there, and all of the purchases and support get split between this cast because I think that is an important thing to do. And it's very soft, it's very cool. And I give credit to Artie for that wonderful line. But I can't wait to be back here and see what happens next. I'm sure nothing will go wrong.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Super.
Hey, I'm Trooper SJP. Lovely to be here. You can find me. What is today? Today's Monday. You can find me on Friday on my channel, Trooper SJP, at 7 p.m. Eastern, where I'm doing for February. I'm doing Going Solo, and I'm playing 2D6 Dungeon, which is a new solo RPG, but it's like a procedurally generated dungeon, sort of old school tables. I'm playing a character that was named by Lindy, Testacles, and I have a big knobby-headed mace that I use to smite people to give them a good drubbing. And we're going to go into the second level of the dungeon on Friday, and I'm very excited about it. And then you will find me back here on Monday. I don't know what that means. We'll find out. That said, I want to give my love to Pope. Pope is so polite, you know, his character is so polite, very reasonable, very thoughtful, very caring, very like, you know, very high humanity vampire who's overcome his past and is now not doing bad things. And then he isn't. And just the sort of like the snap right there is wonderful. I really appreciate how Hope plays Artie in this way as like a person who is always holding it together and keeping it together, but maybe actually just isn't, you know, but it just really seems like he is, but maybe he isn't. And I have to give also my love to Prax for Florrie's untouchableness. She is the essence of the dancer who gets away with it all, right? Like, and just like you are full of rage and hunger. I'm just going to dance right out of the way, right? Like always perfectly in control of herself and the situation and able to manipulate anything at any time to get the outcome that she needs. She's like the queen of us all. And also to Simon, who rolls with surprising punches very well. And that's all my love.
Thank you for coming. Thank you everyone for being here. We've been away for a few weeks. I am feeling better. But yeah, we'll be back next week and all that. I'm a bit all over the place right now. But thank you players for being here as usual on a Monday and busting the time as usual. Thank you for Deirdre Pope for, you know, taking the storyteller's place for a while there. for a scene, it helps a lot because focusing on stuff was kind of hard today. That said, we should be back with Scion later this week. Do we have Sandman on Friday? No, not this Friday. Okay. So I get to wait a bit more and to try to learn my transatlantic accent.
Because Lindy's gone for the next 3 weeks.
Oh yeah, right. She's in Italy.
Yeah, so we have to wait for everybody gets back. Then we've got to schedule our Sandman, figure out
No
when that
problem.
happens.
One last thing, if you are interested in seeing a preview of Vampire Chapters, we have the new Kickstarter campaign starting soon, but we have also released the app where you can read the prologues of every main character, which includes Luciana, among others. If you're interested. Anyway, it's there, it's free. Go ahead.
Is Antonio in there? I mean, he's such a nice guy.
Antonio
great.
is in the prologue Ventru. He pissed off a Baruja by overstepping domain limits. But the Antonio from Chapters is more of an asshole than the Antonio from here. Antonio from Chapters never had any friends. So
Yeah.
that's different.
But he still, yeah, but he wasn't dabblerized, so maybe not having friends was good for him. I don't know.
Yes. Yeah, well, in a way, yeah. And you also have Aaron Conway's prologue that's there when she gets embraced. Lydia makes an appearance in Malkavian. Anyway, have fun if you want. And other than that, that's it. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye, everyone.